Hello, my name is Cecilia Fernandez and I'm a GeneXus instructor. I'll be showing you the most outstanding aspects of developing GeneXus applications for smart devices. So in this course, we will talk about the following topics: the most relevant characteristics of this type of application, the conceptual model on which it's based and the objects, the architecture of applications that can only work with an internet connection, and at the end we will see offline applications. Application design, in terms of user interface and user experience, the prototyping and deployment in the various platforms, as well as the possibility to publish applications in the stores. Security topics, how to incorporate the security module into the application. And lastly, we will talk about offline applications in more detail, that is to say, those that can work partially or completely offline. We'll start by selecting a developed application, EventDay, in this version, from one of our sites with samples. At first, we will see it only at runtime, both in Android and iOS. What will be our objective? To develop, from scratch, a simplified version of this application in GeneXus. This will work as an excuse to address the most relevant topics related to developing these types of applications. Next, you'll be able to download the full version whenever you want to delve into the topics we will not be able to see in this course. Among other things, the application will allow you to view the speakers and the schedule of sessions of an event, a software conference for example, that will take place on certain dates in a certain location. The application will display the speakers, their nationalities, the sessions and their details, the rooms where the presentations will be made, the types of sessions, as well as the restaurants near the event venue. We'll want this application to be available for download by the attendees to the event, in their smart devices, and also by the event's organizers, who will also have permissions to edit the information in mobile mode. In addition, the organizers will be able to edit data from the web backend as usual. Let's see this at runtime, in iPad and in an Android phone. We can see a main menu that allows us to choose between the various options, for example, to view the list of speakers. We can filter by speaker last name, or we can view part of the speaker's CV, as well as his or her details in this other screen. We can see the speaker's full name, the company he works for, his country, CV, and the list of sessions corresponding to the speaker. In this way, we select another one. Armando Cardozo has these two sessions. We can see the details of one session, the date, time, room, and the rest of the speakers that take part in the session, as well as the other sessions of the same track. We can go back and read information about the other session of the speaker. For example, we can see all the sessions that belong to this track, with their dates and times, and so on. Let's go back to the main menu. And now let's see it in Android. Here we can see the same menu we saw on the iPad. The only difference is that instead of being displayed in a list of options, it's displayed as a table. We'll select the list of speakers again. Here we have them. We can search by last name, or read a bit of the CV, as well as the speaker's details. Here we can see general information displayed on a tab, and the associated sessions displayed in another tab. In addition, unlike the iPad, the Android device allows us to update the speaker's information. For example, we may want to change the country and enter Canada. and assign a phone number that was empty, and we save. We can see that the data has been updated in the database. We may also want to delete the speaker, or, going back to the list of speakers, we may want to add a new speaker from the device itself. Now, these options were not available in iOS. Why? The application is the same, but we have specifically programmed it in this way. Let's suppose that the people who will have permissions to change this data will always be using Android devices. Now let's see that we can open the Favorites option, and we're told that we still don't have any sessions marked as favorites in this device. Let's go back to the list of sessions. This is the first day of the event, and we're viewing the sessions we have for the various times on this date. We can see here the second and the third days. For example, here we have 2 sessions at 9:30 a.m. If we want to see more information about one of these sessions, such as Coffee With, here we can see this session's details. The session's date, time, room, description, speakers, and tracks. Let's see this other one. It has these 2 tracks. Note that we can mark it as a favorite. Let's go back to the menu to view our favorite sessions. Note that the session we've just selected is displayed. If we show its details, we can see it's actually marked as a favorite. Also, if we open the menu to see the actions enabled in relation to this conference, we can see that we can schedule it in the calendar in our device. And finally, we can also share this session through some of the programs we have to this end, such as Facebook. If we go back to the iPad and open the favorites, the list of favorites is empty. Why? Because favorites are set in each device. So if I want to see the list of sessions, and I choose to display detailed information of one of them, this one for example, I mark it as a favorite, and then go back to the favorites. We can see that it's displayed there. We can also see that we have the option to schedule the session in our calendar, or share it using one of the programs installed on this device. Let's go back to the menu. Now let's see the list of restaurants displayed as dots in this map, that is to say, geographic locations. For example, tapping on one dot displays the name of the restaurant, and tapping on the name shows detailed information about this restaurant. I can also see, for example, the list of tracks corresponding to the event, and if I choose one, I can see the list of sessions corresponding to this track. The list of rooms where the event will take place can also be displayed. We can select one and see the sessions that will be given in this room, as well as the location of this room in the corresponding floor map. In Android, we can see the list of tracks and rooms. If we select one, we see the map as a tab, and the sessions that will take place in that room as another tab. So, we see that there are differences between platforms and that we'll be able to design layouts according to the platforms. We go back to the menu and see the tweets related to the event. And we can also enter our own tweets. If we use the iPad, we can see all the tweets. And we can also enter our own. So we've just seen, in action, the application we want to develop. Now we will look at the general characteristics of applications for smart devices. Next, we will talk about the conceptual model and the objects that sustain it. Also, we'll start to develop our application, EventDay, step by step in GeneXus. Join us!